Hey there, brother. You watching the Jonathan Dixon YouTube channel.
Get out of it, son! Get out of it! I think you're ready for the track now, boy.
A few moments ago.
So I better get him a 60 foot. They get him a 60 foot.
What? They win, he gonna take to the track back?
Yeah, I think that the star to hit the flywheel. That's what I think. Get out of it, son! Get out of it! Yeah. Sound good now. What kind of muffler you got on? Yeah. You got it on? Alright. Sound deep. When you select it, you gotta go to view. And so that's gonna open up the program right there, right? So this right here, then you got all your different options up here. So
That's what it's on now.
yeah, this your timing curve right here. Now you can change that if you want to, but that's where you go to change your timing curve. So like right now, and like over here, you can change it over here too. So like right now, it's cranking up at 13 degrees, and then when it get to 1,000 RPM, it's going up to 14 degrees, and 1,500 RPM, it's going up to 18 degrees. So if you want to change your 7,000,
No, I want to go back 45.
so probably what you just trying to get your initial set. Well, that's just how you.
Initial set.
So if it were me, I probably would. Once you run it, you're gonna make passes and change your time and see what your mile per hour do. That's gonna tell you where your engine. That's basically on track dyno testing and whatever. The mile per hour gonna tell you which one. Yeah, I would. So if it were me, I would go like where your two-step, where your converter lock up at, you know? We could, all right, we'll check all that. I tell you what, let's just leave this like it is for now. But when you get ready to go in and change it, this is where you change that at, right? And then you can also, which it's the same box I got in my car, go to the individual cylinders. So you can also change your timing to pull timing for your individual cylinders, 1 through 8. Which we ain't gonna never worry about that. And then your temperature, you can pull timing based on add timing or pull timing based on the temperature, right? But you probably don't have that sensor hooked up to the box. So on this right here, let's just go ahead and we'll just zero them out. The easiest way is to grab the dot. You can either grab the dots and pull them back to 0, or you can change all these numbers to 0. put it right there. Yeah. And then do, so that way, what this will do, we'll just make sure that it ain't no interruptions from the temperature, you know, sensor, even though it ain't plugged up, it's on 0 anyway. Alright, and what you see, like when you change it right here, now you can change it offline too, right? So if your computer was offline, this right here it'll be red, it'll say offline. But now you online, right? So that's telling you that you hooked up to your box. So you actively changing it in your box. So just zero all them out. I tell you what you can do. Go in, just zero them. You can zero them out here. That might be easier. Yeah. Just like down there. Double click it and change that number to 0. Yeah, you may have to backspace then 0. And you see, like when you do this one, you'll see how it changed and then it'll go back. Then I'm gonna show you how to make sure you got everything downloaded in your laptop. Got highlighted. But see that you once you get to fooling with it, you'll see which, just go 1 0. You'll see which one is easier to play with it over here or over here. But it's doing the same thing, you know what I'm saying? And now it's probably gonna be one more on down. Yep. So what this telling it to do, if you was using this, it'll be telling your motor, it'll be telling your box, when your engine temperature get to 138 degrees, pull 8 degrees of time. Basically, it's to save the motor like the street driving and keep it from pinging and all this stuff. But we ain't worried about that right now. And then now you go to your step retard. So the step retard, you're not pulling any timing out, right? So what you'll use this, what this gonna be for when you hook up your nitrous, it's I can't remember, I think it may be a pink wire on that box. But anyway, the same wire that's going to your solenoids, you wanna hook it to that pink wire to tell the box to pull time. And so this is where you're gonna go to do that. Say if you want to pull 10 degrees when you're spraying nitrogen, you just change that from 0 to 10. And then if you want to ramp out how fast it's pulling it, you'll change your ramp to however. But for now, once you start running nitrogen, you just keep that on 0. Like, there's reasons behind all that. Like you may want to. Like one reason why you may get into ramping timing out is because most nitrous kits gonna be rich when they first hit, because you done sit there dead-headed on that fuel solenoid. I mean that fuel regulator. So you cannot pull all your timing out then to kind of add the richness and then ramp it in. But that's just we'll just deal with that later. Now you go to your launch retard. This is where you gonna pull your timing out, like right off the line. So what this gonna do? Like say if you spinning or whatever. You put some launch retard in to kind of kill the motor a little bit off the line or whatever. But for now, we'll just leave all that on 0. And I think go to settings right there. Alright, so this your rail limiter right here. You got your rail limiter at 7,000, your high side rail limiter. Your launch rail limiter is where you adjust it. Your 2-step is on 4,000. So we just leave all that where it is for now. But you know, well, we'll check the converter. We'll see where the converter flashing to, and then we'll back down by 500 RPM lower than the converter to start off with. And so right here, this where you upload to the computer, or download to the computer and to the box. So send to product. So to make sure all your settings went to that box, go to send the product right there. Yeah. And so you'll see it right here. You see it saying load. So now it's online. So all your changes done went to your box. And I mean, like, yeah, once you play, I mean, it's simple. You know, once you play with it, and like you're gonna come. Really, the two places where you're gonna be working in is your settings, your step retard, and your launch retard.
Okay.
Most all them other options, you ain't gonna never really be fooling with. Then you gotta do your timing graph too. And this right here, that's just where it records your run. So after you make a run, you can go back and see what your RPM do or whatever. So you'll go there to do that. But so that really pretty much it. Then like right here, you go to view. Time. So when the motor running, and you hooked up to your box, you see that red line right there? It's gonna be moving. It'll show you where your time actually at. So this is where you're gonna go to set your time. And that's
You want to crank it up on it?
yeah. So 13 degrees cranking that's good. You always want to crank at a lower timing to keep it from kicking back and to help the starter and help the battery. The lower the timing is. So like a lot of MSD boxes, they just automatic, like the older boxes, under 600 RPM, they automatically knock out 10 to 15 degrees of time to help the motor crank. Once it sees 600 RPM, it go back to whatever the 32, 34, whatever you guys set it.
So just leave that like that?
Yeah, we'll leave that right there like that for now. You want to crank it up?